Welcome, I'm Fran Tarkenton. I got Jen Osbon here, who is our digital marketing guru. She's got great credentials. She's been in the field and done it with her own company and her own business, and now she's at the Terry School of Business, one of the top business schools in the whole country. It's at the University of Georgia, my alma mater, and it truly has a great entrepreneurial program in business school, and she heads up digital marketing there, and she's helped us in this four-part series to be able to help you understand digital marketing and how you can benefit from it and how you can be there. If you're starting a business, if you have a business, you need to make sure that you're making an impact with digital marketing. Now, with that said, we've talked about silver bullets and get rich quick schemes, because all of us want instant gratification. Yeah. I've never had instant gratification.
It doesn't
I've
work
had
like
to
that.
work a long time to make things work.
Right.
Tell me about the time frame as we start putting up platforms. Let me start with this. Do we work on all platforms, or do we pick a platform? And if we do, what is the platform we pick to start with?
Right. Well, I think what we need to do is we need to recognize how natively are consumers using these platforms. Okay. And where is our audience online? Where are they likely to be receptive to receiving our messages? Right? Okay. Because we talked in the very first segment, we talked about how we're really not all about disruptive marketing. We don't want to just turn up wherever our audience is. We want to find them in a place contextually relevant for them. Yep. So at the right time, on the right platform, and in the right way is how we want to show up. Okay? So that's different for every single platform. What we don't want to do is we don't want to be on LinkedIn if what we're trying to do is some sort of a consumer product with a quick promo. Yep. Right? 20% off today. LinkedIn is probably not the place for that, right? Mm-hmm. But LinkedIn is a great place for selling franchises, and there's purposes. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to have a purpose and a reason for being on each platform. And then as new technology, recognizing that you've got your goal, where you're trying to go, and you've got where you are, and these platforms are going to come and go. Yeah. And so you don't get married to them, right? Yeah. You don't own these platforms. Yeah. Very important to remember that.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah. You don't have to. You can use them, but as they come and go, you filter in, well, is this one appropriate for my business? Is this appropriate where my audience would like to interact with me? And if the answer is no, don't be there. There's no sense in trying to maintain something that's not going to work for you, right? So we want to be a little bit frugal in how we approach which platform to be on.
Important. One thing, you, as an entrepreneur, or if you're running IBM, you've got, everything's not going to stay the same for a day or a week or a month. It's going to change. Technology is changing more rapidly than ever before. And these big companies, IBM is struggling with tomorrow. They haven't had a growth in revenue in 7 quarters, Coca-Cola in 6 quarters. And then you've got companies that are going out of, they're huge because they got stuck in one deal. We will not allow you to be stuck. Right. These are platforms that are evolving and having different relevances, and you've got new technology coming in. We talk about, how about Snapchat? Or is that what it is, Snapchat?
Snapchat.
I've just been reading about Snapchat, which is, what, in the last 6 months?
Yeah, and everyone from large organizations, the New Orleans Saints, use Snapchat as a way to show a lot of behind-the-scenes footage for their fans that want to engage with them that way. Yeah. A small frozen yogurt shop is using Snapchat, where you actually can Snapchat them and receive a randomized deal from 20 to 100% off.
Wow.
So there's different ways that you can use it based on your business and on your situation. I don't encourage small businesses, though, to go just jumping onto the new bright, shiny object. Right? You don't need to always be on the latest, greatest, coolest, newest, whatever. You need to figure out if your audience is there, right, first, and how are you going to use it to reach them in a way that they're interested. And once you get those two things, then you say, okay, let's integrate some Snapchat, right? Yeah. Because it's going to make sense. Not Snapchat's new, my kids are using it, I got to be there.
Have it. In other words, you got to think through what platforms you're going to use, why are you using them, and having a plan to use them.
Yeah.
And then going to others. We use it so many times. There's no silver bullet in business. And as we talk there, you're not going to get overnight success here.
Right.
You're probably not going to get any measurable success for what time frame?
Probably a 6 to 12 month time frame. It's going to take a while for you to actually see results. But I'll tell you this, as far as measurement goes, these platforms all have very, very deep analytics. And you can get lost in them.
Tell me about that.
Okay. A lot of times what folks will do is they'll say, well, here's my plan, here's my intention. And I come from the agency side of the business, so I've actually seen folks do this. They go in and they say, here's the goal, here's what we're going to do, right? Yeah. And then as they get in there, they start to want to measure that success, and they're just looking for any kind of a hockey stick curve going up that they can find. I just want to see it go up. Up is better, right? This is how they think. You can spend 8 hours a day weeding around in the numbers. Is that a good use of your time? No. Especially not if if you're running a flower shop or whatever your business is, that's your day job. So recognize that you can get lost in these numbers. I tell everybody, don't get lost in the weeds, and don't spend a lot of time trying to tell yourself how successful you were at everything you do. Keep it real. Definitely keep it real, and get a few metrics that tell you in general, is this performing like I wanted? In general. And if it's not, then maybe you look a little deeper to try and uncover the why, and then you start guiding the ship. But it's not about big numbers for big numbers' sake, right? We don't brag about the size of our fan base because big is better and mine's bigger than yours, so I must be running a more successful business. That's not necessarily true now, is it?
No, it's not.
It's really all about how is it that I'm using these metrics to generally guide whether what I'm doing is working or not. Okay?
Here's the fact. We all in business, startups, small businesses, big mega businesses, we need to have a social media strategy. We need to be learning from it every day. We need to be executing, because it's a part of business today and tomorrow. And you as an entrepreneur, if you're not in that game, you'll have less of a chance to grow, less of a chance to be relevant, less a chance to start off and be good. It's kind of like, athletes of my era and all eras. We get the get-rich-quick artists out there. I've got this great land deal or this oil deal, and give me your $100,000 or your $1 million or your $5,000, and I will triple that money in about 2 hours. You know how many athletes and doctors that have gone for that over the last 100 years? A lot. Most of my generation of football players are broke because they went after that type of deal. I can show you Hall of Fame players now that are more modern that made into the hundreds of millions of dollars are dead broke today because they went to the get-rich-quick artists rather than go and build it and build the foundation right and build it with the right intention to bring value to the customer. We will not promote get-rich-quick schemes. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a silver bullet. But what Jen has been talking about for these 4 sessions, this is a strategy that is there for you and I, and it's important for this to be part of your business model.
Yes.
And it's not going to give you instant gratification. You're not going to see a turnaround tomorrow or next week. It's a process. Business is a process, isn't it, Jen?
It absolutely is.
I mean, you learn and learn and learn, and I would imagine, when did you start doing this type of work in your consulting ministry?
I actually started working in digital marketing in 1998.
Wow. So you've been out there. Yeah. And so the evolution of it has got to have been tremendous.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And back then, what was the first thing you remember?
My very first job out of graduate school was to work on UPS.com. I worked for UPS Corporate, and I was one of a 4-person team that actually built the website, how to track a package, where's the closest place to drop off a package. And we went from that in 20 years, right? We went from that all the way to always on, a complete shift in the consumer, right? A complete pendulum from, we wanted to move, this is great, this is actually great, I'm gonna cut this one, but this is great. The original goal for UPS.com was to move people off of the call center and onto UPS.com, and that we called it trading dollars for for dimes because it was very expensive
Sure.
to have people in the call center and they could do the transactions themselves. We didn't want to talk to our customer, right? Total cost of contact was what we used to measure. Social technologies have come along, and now we're actually looking at how do we cultivate relationships with our customers and our greater audience, our stakeholders, so that they can actually help create and innovate and add business value to our firm by giving us ideas, things we could do to be better, ways that we can grow, new lines of business. So we went from we don't want to talk to them to we want them to be in this with us, partners.
How about that?
Thinking of our customers as partners. Wow, right?
When you're reaching out to people that have a stake in what you're doing to help you think your business. Business is about figuring it out.
Yes.
And if you figure it out
And
today, you got to refigure it out tomorrow and next week. And that's why we're here in this community of Go Small Business, to bring entrepreneurs and people that have skills beyond skills, of thinking skills and technology skills, to be able to help you be more successful in your business. But we will not be able to help you if you don't come to practice, if you don't engage yourself.
That's right.
If you don't apply yourself, if you don't take some of these things and start using them and doing them, and we'll help you with that. We are there 24/7 to help you be more successful and to bring the best thinking in digital marketing and everything else that goes in running and doing a business. But remember this, and we've got to have good manners. Jed has talked so much about this. We should have been technology. We got to have good manners. We got to treat everybody with great respect. And the most important thing, we got to ask a lot of questions of our customers, our consumers, our partners, have our ears open, and so that we can go and be better every day. I want you to be like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Get smarter every day. We're going to try to help you with that. Thanks for joining us.